And what I'd like to do is to continue this journey. And I'm going to now, we're gone to space. Now we're going to go off-roading a bit, which connects, I think, to one of our speakers who likes to do this. So Julie, if you could tell us also a day in the life and some background to what you do.
Yes, certainly. So let me share my screen. I'd like to hopefully be able to, let me see my screen. Okay, me and Dad. I'd like to be able to show me and my photos.
Yeah.
Can you see both?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I have 3 or 4 photos to show you, and they're packed full of what I hope will be inspiration for you. And I too am very grateful to be here today. So this is really exciting for me to be able to share my story and look back, because when I was, I'm a little bit older now. When I was going through university, I was one of 2 women that were chemical engineers. There weren't women mentors for me. There were a lot of men. And so I put this photo up of my father and myself, 93, takes no medicine, engineer. He actually had accomplished 23 patents in his life. And he really was an inspiration. I would call him up working for Chubb or Quest Diagnostics or the Small Medical Lab or AIG and say, "Oh, Dad, I don't know if I can do this." And he would help me think things through. And he was always my mentor. And what I want to share with this picture is, if it's not your father, it's, maybe it's somebody else at work. Maybe it's that person standing next to you with awards. I've won a ton of awards, and it's been really fun to stand next to my boss, my mentor, but none of these doors have opened purely by myself. There's been a lot of other people that have helped me along the way. So, my message here as I'm telling my story is for you to think about who you are and look around and see who your mentors are and thank them and get a big straw and suck their brains dry. So that's my first picture. And he was my inspiration to become a chemical engineer, as you know. So I went through university and then I graduated and went to Chubb. I'm going to talk to the point about Chubb in a minute. And then I left insurance. I went to work for Quest Diagnostics. It was the largest medical lab in the world at the time. And we had the concept that people needed freedom. So I hear a lot about research and people working in the labs, and we had an amazing lab. We had amazing IT people. In addition to knowing the science, living it, you have to be able to communicate it in a way that people can take advantage of it. So marketing has given me the opportunity to do that. So I left more of a scientific role to go into a marketing role at Quest Diagnostics. And this is where we did a lot of market research with people. We found out what they liked. We did a lot of research with physicians, and then came up with a concept where we could bring laboratory testing directly to other people without them having to first see their treating physicians. So this is me in a picture in CVS pharmacy selling the lab test. And this allowed me to apply for a patent too, using the gift card concept to buy a lab test. So that was really fun. I learned a lot from my bosses there and had a really fun run. Then I joined a company called Enemis Labs. It was a small esoteric lab. And my role there was to create the marketing department and also to help identify through an R&D governance process the lab tests that we needed to bring to market. And those lab tests allowed physicians to figure out what kind of cancer a particular colon cancer was, so they could help to determine treatment, or a drug test that would allow people to monitor their anti-epileptics drugs that they were taking. So they were really valuable tests.